From our team in Cuba today, as President-elect Donald Trump gets ready to take office, Cubans on the island are wondering if the renewed U.S.-Cuba relationship will take on a brand new shape.
And today, Local 10's Hatzel Vela, the one and only reporter from a local television station in the U.S. to be based in Cuba, talks to a dissident on the island about Trump and Wetfoot Dryfoot.
So Wetfoot Dryfoot continues to be a topic of conversation here in Havana, but slowly you're also starting to see Cubans talk about Donald Trump and what his presidency will mean for U.S.-Cuba relations. So we went and talked to a high-profile dissident, not just about Trump taking over, but about Wetfoot Dryfoot and what U.S. relations may look like after January 20th.
Well, I think that for sure that law needs to change.
Antonio Rodiles talking about Wetfoot Dryfoot, which remains a topic of conversation in Cuban households throughout the island. Rodiles heads Estado SATS, a group highly critical of the Cuban government. Different reasons, but in this case, he and the Castro government are on the same side.
We have seen a lot of abuse about the law.
Rodiles remains surprised about the way outgoing President Barack Obama went about getting rid of the policy. He is critical of the Obama administration for not consulting with the exile community or dissidents on the island.
The Obama administration was taking as the only official counterpart the Cuban regime. And I think that this is really a bad signal for what is happening in Cuba right now.
He feels a new President Trump needs to reevaluate American policies towards Cuba.
The situation with the respect of the human rights, also the economic aspect need to be changed in order that some companies can come here to make real business in Cuba.
He hopes Trump does not forget about human rights and the opposition, which has been criticized for being fractured. But when it comes to Cuba, he says it's not bad to have differences in opinions and approach. Rodiles believes Cuba is at a crossroads. The Cuban government has been vocal about looming economic woes. Trump, who is consulting hardline exiles on Cuba, could play a major factor. So everyone is on the sidelines waiting to see what happens.
In that conversation, we wanted to include Berta Soler, the leader of Ladies in White. We're told that she was arrested Sunday and had not been released as of this taping. But of course, we continue to talk to people here on the ground about a Trump administration and what his administration may or may not do when it comes to U.S.-Cuba relations. For now, reporting in Havana, Hatzel Vela, Local 10 News.